This diet soda is not working out for me. Maybe it's just the yellow light. Everything looks a little more yellow. That could be worse, I guess. Oh, I gotta check my. Hey, Eric and Robot Fighter, what's going on? It's gonna be a decent sized vlog tonight. How's it going, Zach? I've missed you guys too. It's been what, 2 days? It feels like an eternity, honestly. So I'm just plugging stuff in. I'm here at my mother's place, and I'm driving back to leave that on until I get on the main road. Driving back to the Cape Coral, for those who are not locals, which is pretty much all of you. Which is, nothing wrong with that. Just, if you live in Cape Coral, live near it, you just call it the Cape. You can tell someone's not from the Cape area when they call it Cape Coral, or when you're not talking to someone who's from Cape Coral. Is your nose not stinging? No. I know it looks like it should, but it doesn't burn like that. It's it's not it's hard to explain. It's vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol, both of which are considered generally safe for use, like for human consumption. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying it doesn't burn. It can burn if you do it the wrong way. If you I don't know, inhale too much nicotine, but you would kind of get that. You kind of know ahead of time. So anyway, I made a vlog before I came here. I have another. Let me move this a little bit. Actually, I don't. Hey Emma, what's going on? Emma's a devout watcher now. Yes, you are. So those of you who normally watch and maybe haven't seen Emma on, she's that's Ashley's daughter. So Cape Bonavista is the road here. Okay. She's fine. Yeah, she can be really funny, especially in our vlogs. Okay. I actually looked up Finger, Tennessee. It's definitely as small as you said it was. But it looks like it'd be a lot of fun to kind of live out there. Turn this light off here. Yeah, James, sorry, I took a little bit of a nap, and then I had to get everything kind of set up for heading back to Cape Coral, so. You could say this was somewhat of an unexpected trip. I don't really know if I should go into the. Part of me wants to go into the details of why I'm here, but yeah, I don't know. That's odd. I think a good trivia question would be, how many states have have a city with the word palm in it? I'm trying to think of how many there are. I can think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. Look at this guy. I'm just gonna follow him. I'm a follower. Oh yeah, man. And I meant to. Sorry, everything's okay. I just my mom. I wanted to get on the road by a certain time. Hey, Shiv. I don't know if I got to your last message, but yeah, about the what device I use. So I think you got that. I gotta check my I hope I'm being as responsive as you need me to be. If I'm not, just let me know. I've been kind of like, I put things on hold for a few days. I kind of had a situation to take care of. Hey, Jason, how's it going? And I got your email too. I think you sent me an email, and I haven't done anything like with my email or like talking about plants in 2 days. So I apologize to everyone who has tried to contact me. I had to take care of some personal business, I guess you could call it. So President. Oh, so first I'll get to you in a second. Shift there, Zach. Trickies and needles. Yeah. I mean, you can try to hybridize them. You might need some serious scientific like instruments like tissue culturing. You might need access to like, you know, cryo labs. I'm not sure what's required. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll give you a little bit of a insight on it. It really wasn't. It really wasn't something that personally. I mean, I guess it did personally. I mean, affect me a little bit. Not like really like it bothered me, but it was directed at me. But I had a guy who was not really mentally stable, threatened, and I quote, to shoot me in the head. And he was on my property, and I was trying to figure out what the proper course of action was. But at the time, I decided that, well, but the proper course of action right there was to lean on the horn because the guy's obviously paying no attention to the road. So, yeah, and Emma is aware of kind of like what happened, and yeah, it's just I basically had to like kind of like reflect on what happened and if there's anything I should do about it, and the guy's an EMT who did it, and I've known him for a while, and I've never threatened anyone that I can remember with like physical violence because I'm not that kind of person. I just tend to be a verbally argumentative person. And he decided to elevate it, and he tried to come with his like 20-something-year-old son, and they were both threatening me, and I kind of insulted them pretty badly because of the way that they were. I'm very respectful to people, and obviously I'm try to keep good manners and everything on here. But when someone does that to me, I don't have any patience for it. So I verbally went back to him, and when usually physical threats happen because people who can no longer communicate. I could still communicate, and he couldn't. The only thing he could communicate was the fact that he wanted to shoot me in the head, and if this is in broad daylight in front of other people. So I mean, it isn't like people ask me kind of what happened, so. Yeah, Zach, that's interesting. That sounds like something that probably is okay in Africa, or maybe is tolerated, but that's not okay in America. So that's a hell of a moon tonight. But it also, I mean, it wasn't even just that. That was kind of the end thing. I also had someone throw beer at my car when I had 2 children in it, because they were also upset with me being honest with them. So I, like, into my car, a female. So I'm not a fighter, but I am a verbal, I will be honest with people when I feel like something that they have done is wrong, or I feel like that they might need to be told something that may be hard to talk about. So Emma, what do you mean by "and other better that day"? Oh yeah, I that was just I had a third person. This all happened in an 8-hour period, by the way. I had a third person also try and criticize me for something that was, I had said as as a joke, and they don't some people don't have my sense of humor, and so I just told them, you can't, don't speak to me that way. I mean, if I tell someone, like, let's just say I tell Ashley, I mean, and this is I've never said this, but if I'm going to be brutally honest with somebody, I'm going to say, listen, like, these plants, they need some help, and they don't like it. They're like, oh, these plants are fine. I'm like, well, listen, I mean, in my opinion, your plants need help. And I'm like, and they start getting like, they're saying, oh, Christian, you're a piece of, you're no good, or whatever. I just don't have the patience for it. And I'll just tell them that I don't think that they have any experience with it, and that they really should, kind of come off their, anyway, that's how arguments elevate. But I don't ever see the need for any sort of physical altercations. But and the person who did threaten to shoot me, it was in my house. I let him in the house, and it's you guys who might have watched the vlog during the day, I deleted it because I just didn't really want it. It's not something that I was. Yeah, so Emma was aware of what happened, and I'm not trying to air this on like a public thing, but there's some people out there that just can't control themselves. So why don't we? I just wanted to explain why I've kind of haven't gotten back to you guys. I apologize. I don't mind talking about it because I have no qualms with discussing it. I mean, yes, I do have a private life that certain things I don't talk about, but I think people outside of Florida might find it funny that these crazy things happen. Anyway, I did a video on I got another species that I'm not going to say until it's up, and then I have another video discussing a certain issue that's about a certain species that's very apparent now. So yeah, I'm not worried about Zach. I mean, as much as I'd love to tell him that, hopefully, can I make the light? Can I get it one time? One time. Thank you. One time comes through for once. I hate this light. I always miss it. I tend not to. I tend to find that people realize after they've said what they said in anger, and they can't control themselves, so they tend to have to deal with the consequences of that. Oh, you're in Florida? Are you in Port Charlotte? Because I'm about to drive right through it. I forgot that you're making that drive. That's probably, I've been around a couple of days, but I'm literally like 10 miles away if you are in Port Charlotte, heading your way. So, I mean, I'm not expecting you to drop everything, come over to 41 and say hi, but if you feel the inclination to, Yeah, I heard about all the crazy weather in like Atlanta and Tennessee. Like it was like 40 degrees and storming, and then it went up, and then they had like freezing rain. Are you going to the Wawa in Port Charlotte on 41? There on the south end, on the, technically it'd be the west side, but it's really the south side if you're looking at it from a compass point of view. So I'm no stranger to Wawa. If you want to come on the vlog, man, you can come sit in the car and stuff. We can, I mean, not, I feel like one of those guys with a van, like, hey, come in my van and hang out. Here's some ice cream. Okay. Well, what am I doing here? If you're probably pretty tired, but if you're gonna be at the Wawa, I'm gonna be there in like around 15 minutes, like through that area. If you're there, I mean, I don't mind stopping and saying hi. You want to be live right on the vlog, as we're on the vlog sort of thing. Let's stop by and say hi. I mean, or we can do it the next time I'm coming through. It's no rush or anything. Just figured if you're, I'm not gonna take it personally. So, thinking I'm getting pulled over here, just a motorcycle with one of those flashing lights. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I can stop for a few minutes. I told Ashley that I'd be home by that I was heading out, and I don't want to spend too much time. But if you want to stop, say hi, and then we could meet up for a longer time. Don't go out of your way or anything. I just want to, if you're there, I'll pull through and say hi real quick. You can say hi in the vlog. Just let me know if okay, so no, that's fine, James. So if anyone who's buying seed from me, I have no problem telling them exactly how to germinate. So James, the seed I sent you, so a lot of it still has the fruit on it, which I actually will germinate royal with the fruit on it. I let it naturally fall apart. Royals and queens, really, you can kind of germinate them sort of together, not in the same pot, but in the same climate. Because queens can basically germinate in any weather as long as it's warm. They they don't rot as seedlings. That's why they do so well. They have like 100% survival rate as a seedling. But anyway, what was I gonna say? They don't mind a little bit heavier soil, and because if you look at royals around say planted around here, you don't see a lot of germinated ones because they actually prefer like a swampier atmosphere to germinate in, and that's what you really want with a lot of heat. They're just like hot and humid, and the queens can handle that too. But if you want to give them less humidity, less heat, they'll be okay. All right, yeah, I'll say hi real quick. Popsicles in the freezer in the basement. Yeah. Okay. I heard about the flood. Yeah. Yeah, man. James, you're welcome to come by and say hi. You don't feel like you don't have you don't have to buy anything or anything. Just come say hi. You don't if it's probably like 20 minutes out of your way. I would say maybe 30. Rush hour or traffic, it's more like 30. But I have no problem with anyone that wants to come by. My business is all public domain. I don't try and I don't try and go on. I guess I am somewhat public in some fashions, but yeah, the keys are pretty sweet. But yeah, I heard about the flood of like up to 10 inches. Like that's brutal. But so anyway, the story I was going to talk about, and this is, I thought about doing a vlog about this, like what kind of car or truck should you have if you like plants, and want to, obviously most people have trucks, but I used to have a Ford E150 van I bought. It was the kind of van that you see people like that are kidnappers have. We used to call it the kidnapper van, and it was all tinted black. You could drive through bad neighborhoods and people would just disperse because they just assumed that you were like, a creepy individual. And, someone was like, why don't you spray paint free ice cream on the side and just, complete the whole thing. So, yeah, that 3-hour drive is brutal, especially get caught in some traffic. Yeah, you're welcome to buy stuff. I mean, I'm only gonna have smaller things, but I should have some fast-growing stuff that you would want. The candy and puppies, and yeah, I think if someone said, yeah, free, puppies and free candy or something like that. The Palm Kidnapper, yeah, it was extraordinarily creepy because you couldn't open the door, like the sliding door on the inside, and the rear doors you can, yeah, the rear doors were like half working. It was, I mean, I bought the thing for like $1,800, and it was a beast. But and then there's this canvas thing you zip down. It was basically like a curtain for the back. What it was meant for is the air conditioning to keep itself in the cab, so people, you don't have to air condition the whole van and warm it all up. You could just warm up the front, but it also covered what was, you couldn't see, even if you were in the front seat, you couldn't see what was in the back. So if like you got pulled over, no one could see what was in the back of your truck or van. So it was like extremely creepy. But that's how I bought it. So at least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Which one of these drinks do I drink? Yeah, you could do that. Watch a couple videos. I saw that, the Washingtonian videos and stuff. Sometimes I'll get on obviously if you go on YouTube, you can see videos that like people will watch, like, it'll show videos that I watch. I put that as private because sometimes I'll watch these videos that are kind of really out there, and I don't want people to think that like I'm like in some sort of cult or whatever. Because I'll watch like videos, like I'll watch like flat Earth videos because I'm interested in like what people like are trying to prove, but I didn't want people to think I was like a flat earther. So you've arrived. Okay. So I'm still about 10 minutes out. So if you don't mind waiting about 10, if you want to find me, I have, that silver Honda pickup with the black topper. It's hard to miss. I can park, like, tell me where you want me to park and I'll just park, and you can. Well, the flat Earth kind of throws like science out the window, and or selectively uses science. I mean, I'm not gonna say that flat earthers are completely crazy, but I mean, there's a lot of like scientific information that they kind of just throw out the window and use certain things that, if you've taken a class in physics, it just doesn't make any sense. I know, no, but I like a good challenge. Like, I like someone to kind of challenge me and say, well, why shouldn't you believe in that? And I like to elaborate. Okay. Sometimes conspiracy theories are a little interesting. There's some weird stories about how certain palms were extinct for like 100 years and then suddenly showed up again, and people wonder like how that happened. And one of the last, well, when Tahina was discovered, it was actually they verified its presence by using Google Maps, which I thought was pretty cool. Like right when it came out in 2007. Yeah, trust me. Do you know how many Cycat exchanges I've done in the back of like my truck and or van / SUV in my life, Palms and Cycads? I've like one guy that I would do business with. He didn't even want to see someone handing him money. He would tell me to come in the truck and drop the money in the center console, and then as I was picking the Cycads out, he would count the money. He didn't want people to see him actually touching them, like the actual money handover take place. It was very weird. I mean, I don't really do business with him anymore because he's just that weird. Like, I mean, for give you an example, things I have to go through. The guy, he contacted me, I don't know, a couple days ago about some plants for sale. I got back to him today, and he said, "Yeah, there's 10 plants available." I was like, "Okay." So I normally contact some people that I know that might want to buy them, but they all buy from him now, so he's no longer a wholesaler, he's a retailer. I just wanted to sell a few to kind of just, I want to take everything, I would get a better deal. And I was like, yeah, all of my customers now, just go to you. So, I don't know why you're contacting me because I'm not going to plant these. A tuk-tuk. Yeah, he doesn't want to pay taxes on it either. That's definitely true. Um, that's why does that sound familiar? I don't have my vlog stick with me, so it's gonna be hard for me to pull. I mean, I can pull it out with my hand, but I mean, you don't have to be on the vlog if you don't want to. But it might be packed somewhere in my stuff. I mean, I can reach down and start fondling for it, but I don't know if I'm gonna find it. A tuk tuk. Okay, James, I'll talk to you later. A vlog on. I don't know what solitaire is actually. I'm not even going fast enough. Okay. Okay. Tuk tuk. Hey, Bobby, what's going on? I'm just driving. Oh, they finally fixed this road. Well, I mean, at least they opened it. Let's get it going. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I don't. I'm not going to use GPS for the Wawa, but it kind of just creeps up on you. I'm pretty sure I can remember where it is. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. I almost bought one of those actually to use around like a nursery. You can get them imported from China for like, I don't know, 1,800 bucks. But it looked like you had to assemble half of it yourself, and then if it breaks down, and it's not like some things you just can't fix without like having proper tools. And like there's any like aftermarket for parts, and I was like, this is like a throwaway. Jesus. I mean, I'm doing 10 over, so he's probably doing 80 and a 50 in an area where the cops just love to hang out. Tachysperma elegans. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're back to. Sorry, now that I'm focusing on what I should be, like the vlog. I thought that I had at the old nursery, the guy that kind of screwed me. But if I haven't, then I mean, great, because I can get, I would love to do a vlog on a relatively common plant. Maybe I should do an updated vlog, because some of those I don't have like as descriptive information as I probably should. Because at some point I'm like, all right, I'm gonna kind of do like have a way that I do this vlog. I'm gonna talk about where it's from, its cold hardiness, what its seed is like, how to germinate it, where you can find it, maybe, what it's related to, and certain unique characteristics about it. But I might not have done that for Tachysperma elegans. Yeah, I mean, it was a cool vet and everything, but it's just, the cops are just looking for like red sports cars to pull over around here. And 30 over is risking you losing your license. So then you have like a 75, 85 or $1,000 sports car and no license to drive it. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Tom? Yeah, that's cool, Dylan. I've heard about this lightning, but we're not getting any of that rain. It's not coming down here. It's actually not affecting our weather at all. It's still going to be, it was 86 today, Fahrenheit. So that's 30 Celsius. Sometimes Americans will joke about Canada or about something or other, but there's some really cool things that come out of Canada that sometimes we don't even get to enjoy here, like poutine. What the? Hold on a second. What is this? There's people that are screaming like animals. I'm gonna. Let's just see what's going on here. Oh. You're live on YouTube. And you also need to get over. I wasn't like trying to like intimidate them. I just let them know, you know, their streams are live. That was like 4 women, I think, in a car screaming like dogs or wolves. And they might have. They were howling like, you know, they were catcalling me. I feel so abused. I feel used and abused now. Yeah. Is that an animal in the road? No, don't. Okay, God. I need some freaking glasses. Drugs LLC. Yeah, I mean, that could be, you know, PCP is a hell of a drug, so. Oh, I made this light too, man. I'm running well tonight. 4 groupies. Could be. Hey, Tom. I was going to tell you in a message, but the guy that you that wanted that identification for that that plant, that palm, he and I don't get along very well, although I'm still willing to be friendly with him, but he's kind of he has some mental instability issues, and he kind of lost his mind last night on some of my friends in a plant forum. We ended up having to block him because he's a psychad guy, so I don't know. I mean, you know, all bets are off with those guys. Like when they're strictly psychad guys, you just never know. They have. It's like dealing with rock star divas. You know, you just don't know what to expect from them. So it's 46 Mentos. No, this guy isn't not that. The guy, not the guy that went off on you. This guy went off on me like 6 years ago. He's the same guy that I mentioned in a. Oh, you weren't live for it, but I want to make sure I don't miss the Wawa here. He got upset with me one time because he thought I wouldn't sell him certain plants I had, and so he just like tried to like insult me, and I just said, you know what, you know, I don't, you know, I kind of just blew him off because I just don't really know what to tell someone who isn't really making sense. And then we had, unfortunately, a political discussion came up on a plant friends thread, and he came in and just showed, you know, lack of any sort of self-control. And so, but the guy, the Copernicia Bertariana, the one that I try and be open. I try, you know, it's bad business to like not be to not be open to other people and other ideas, right? You know, especially when it's your business, you know. So most of them are creatures. I don't want to insult anyone that like I've done business with, but I'd say like 3/4 of them are. Now, like I'd say only like there are some creatures in the palm world, but they're usually nicer creatures. They're like, you know, they're like fuzzy puppies, but the psychic creatures are like, I don't know, some vicious. They're like barracudas or piranhas. You can just avoid them if you want to. You can stay out of the muddy water. So, oh, here we go. Here's Wawa. So, Dylan, if you're watching, I'm going to pull up in that silver truck with the black top. I don't know where you want me to pull up, but oh yeah, you have the, yeah, okay, I know what car you have. If that's the car you drove down here. Oh, the police are here too. We can all hang out. Oh yeah, take your time. I'm not trying to go anywhere. Yeah, don't bother. you know, if I could go back in time, I wish I didn't have to pay as much as I did for it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, that's how I was with my Camaro.
yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
kind of thing where like I'd rather just get like a $5,000 like truck or whatever. But
Yeah.
do you want to be on camera or do you rather not be on camera?
I don't mind it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go on it.
All right, everyone. Because I just restarted it, so it's the meet and greet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I hope they- oh, you were in the crew. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were in the Camaro. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about the stream, guys. It just went down, and right as I was pulling in, and I was looking for his vehicle, and yeah, so I had to restart it. So sorry about that, everyone. So. Anyway, that's Dylan, another Palm fiend.
It's me.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'll be in touch with you, or you can just message me. I can
Definitely.
if you want to send me an email. I'll give you my phone number if you just want to like text me or whatever or call me.
Okay.
That works for you.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, and we'll get in touch before next. So you're here for like 8 days then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just about.
All right, cool. All right, man. Well, I'll let you get back to your normal routine, and
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna get down to the Cape. It was
Yeah.
nice meeting you, man.
Nice
and
meeting you too.
and get some. Did you just get here?
He was driving half the time.
You had two drivers.
So I got a little in the car, but not enough. So,
Yeah, no, I imagine you're probably working on the adrenaline now. So
Yeah,
I know the
pretty
from that.
Yeah.
I've driven to Vermont.
Yeah.
We're not in the same day, but
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, man.
All right. Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I'll be in
Yeah.
touch and yeah, get some sleep. So.
Yeah, we'll do. All right.
All right.
Take it easy.
All right. Till then, man. See ya.
Later.
See ya. Yeah, so that was Dylan, everyone. He just drove down from he's probably a little bit tired from he drove I don't know how many hours it is from Chicago. I want to say it's like 18 and didn't get much sleep. So he's probably a little bit sleep deprived. I imagine I'd probably be a little bit like strung out myself. So anyway, it says I can only stream for another 167 hours. Imagine if I actually did that. That would be what? 2, 3, 4, almost. It's like 7 days. Chevy Chase. I guess I could see that. I want to roll by this cop and see what exactly they're doing here. So that's an undercover cop, or at least an unmarked cop, and that's a marked cop. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not. That cop right there, and there was a second cop. Oh. So that's cool, man. That's there was back when my vlog only had. I mean, not that this is like during Hurricane Irma. I met someone who was from Greenville when I was staying there, and honestly, I forget his name. I feel so bad, but he was so nice to show me his yard. I didn't vlog it, and I don't think he watches much anymore. But that I've met him, and I've met Chris Sexton or Christopher. I forget. You like to be called which way, and then I met Dylan. So I like to meet people who watch the vlog. I mean, come on, guys. I'm not like a celebrity. I have like I appreciate you guys coming and watching, but I'm not. I'm nobody. I mean, I might be a Palm specialist, but I'm not. I'm not Jake Paul or something. I'm a very reachable person. Is bag the Canadian term? I don't know what that means. Or just like having baggy. I mean, you guys should see my eyes when my sister, the room, like for a while my sister first moved into her new house that she this is like back in 2014. She what's it called? Sorry, I'm just like spacing out here. she I would stay at her. I was living at her house when I was just playing poker because it was near where I wanted to play and where I would deal cards. And something happened to the vent in like the room I stay in, and it's exposed. It's like one of those like outer rooms that kind of hangs out like a horseshoe, and so it's like exposed to the full sun in the middle of the day. The sun comes right in, and so it just like superheats the room, and the AC just isn't. The window is old, so like it was 86 today, so it was like 83, 84 in the room, even with the air conditioning, because it just, it's hard to sleep in that kind of weather. So anyway, so you're an A-list palm celeb. I might be, I guess. But, there's a lot of guys. Oh, tired, bagged. Okay, yeah. I've actually never heard that before, but that sounds like perfectly. That's a cool. It's an easy way of saying. 2 acres fenced in, nice. Okay, so Terrence. I'm looking at your. By the way, hi. I didn't know if I didn't say hi to you before. Robustus germinate if I keep them in a bowl of soil and water. I wouldn't keep the water. There's a guy just walking. I just don't want to hit anybody. I had a friend who actually hit a homeless person on 41 in Venice, and so I'd rather, even though they were not found to be faulted anything, it was kind of traumatic for them. Anyway, yeah, so I would just make sure there's just moist enough. The soil just has some water in it. Don't keep it waterlogged. Robustas, although they can handle it, that's where fungus will develop, especially when they're younger. They can handle, obviously, you can see they handle plenty of water being in. Oh, this is either lane. Sorry, I don't know why I'm spacing out. I was thinking about a different story, that's why. But yeah, they'll do fine. Throw a little perlite in there, just let it kind of drain. Make sure the bowl has holes in it. So, yeah, robustas are easy to kind of tweak it in time before they die, sort of thing. Yeah, just no muddy, mucky soil. There's a few palms that do like that, but the lipstick palm loves it. Oh, I need to get into a lane that's going to be going over the bridge. They're building some mass complex here on the right. It used to be just a field overlooking the water. Is beautiful, but when there's open land, people see dollar signs. I'd be okay with some palms, but probably going to be some high-rise condos. They're going to be half-built, and the economy is going to go into recession. Anyway, that's not my business, so... Yeah, I still use mine. I have a few species on there. I'm actually doing a little bit of experiment of actually leaving my bags outside, so it's 65 at night and 83 during the day Fahrenheit. So you're looking at 20 at Celsius at night, 30 during the day, I guess, approximately. Actually, 65 is not 20, it's more 18, but yeah. And seeing if the heating and cooling process actually is beneficial, because the plant naturally experiences that in its habitat, a decent cooling off period. Because when I touch it, it's definitely cool in the morning, but it's very hot during the day. It's getting direct sun. Okay, hey, yeah, if it's that warm for you, you should be able to germinate outside at least, a decent number of seed. It gets 15 a little bit. That's 57, 58 Fahrenheit. That's where I should be, as far as what kind of weather. I think 58 or 59 is the average low this time of year for Cape Coral. Oh yeah, okay, so hot and cold has worked for you. I've just never tried it. Because the heat mat, sometimes, the problem is if all the moisture in the bag can go to one side and you can get the burns. I actually lost a number of germinated phyllense because it got dry and they got these hot spots in the bag. So that's the downside. I probably should have mentioned that, but I also had them at 100, Fahrenheit. So, oh, and I'm speeding now. I forgot the cops. Watch this be the one time I actually. Anyway, I also got to figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner, and I had a Wawa for lunch. So, and I think my stomach is not feeling Wawa at the moment. I'm glad to hear all those seeds are germinating. I saw you posted on Palm Talk. Yeah, that's a good idea, and that's what I do. I kind of like fill in the gaps of any dry spots. It's not terrible, but if they germinate and then it's dry, then that can be dangerous. So, Caryota urine. So fishtails, like the whole genus of Caryota. I've noticed that like all of those in that same Caryotiaceae tribe. I think that's the tribe. I could be wrong. I forget the tribes because they're not really that. You're not used that often. But I noticed that they can actually take a little while. I had some Orangas, which are related to Caryota. I thought the seeds were no good, and then they all started germinating after 3 months, and I thought that was kind of weird for the seed. It's not usually seed that takes that long is like really like subtropical or just really slow growing plants, and this is not either one of them. I think this one grows in the tropics. I don't know, but that's the way it is. McNary, why cut me off? Why does this happen to me? For no purpose. Okay. Eric, you had Serenoa seed. You had the saw palmetto seed for me too, or no? Oh, you bought Utan, which is probably native, not too far away. Okay. Hey, you never know. There could be sables growing there. I bet you if you threw down like 1,000 sable miners seed, after 5 years, you'd still have, let's say, like, oh, I got the cops right next to me. Sweet. I don't want you guys to get the idea that like I like hate the police, because it's not the case. I've find that there are certain situations where I've had to like give a report about something that happened in the neighborhood or whatever, where they have a certain mindset where everybody is a suspect or something, and I don't take well to being accused of things I haven't done. I don't know, maybe I just have to just take it easy. Shiv, yes, I have actually. I've called 911 let's see, 2 or 3 times before. My mom had a heart attack, and I had to call 911. My mom also slipped and fell one time or twice, and I had to call that. So I think 3 times. I hope I never have to do it again. It's a very scary situation. I'm sorry. My mom had her heart attack. I was actually not living at the house, so my sister called 911. But I was like a mile away. Oh God. Okay, I'm going. Fine. That car doesn't even have a cop in it. It just sits there. It's so annoying. Makes you think that you're doing something wrong when you're not. Anyway, but yeah, Oh, for crime reporting, usually there's a number you call your local, depending on what state, like in Florida we have city police, and then areas that are not as populated have a county sheriff. So you can either call the police or the sheriff. Usually it's the sheriff, unless you live in a large, like Cape Coral has its own police. But that's a sheriff right there. So for like crime reporting, I don't know how it is in other countries, but at least here in Florida, because of the lack of really community, I find that if you call the police or something, you really kind of get this you get like cold-shouldered for no reason. I don't know. They think that like you're wasting their time. I feel like they're more of a revenue-generating system than they are. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go to. I had a person that's close to me that was assaulted, and calling 911, the police took a report and failed to somehow charge the people who were obviously involved with any sort of crime. So I just kind of have given up on that. It's something I mean, obviously would use it again if, I just. I just think in general, if they just spoke to you like in a more human-like manner, then they would get a lot further with their work. So, your sweet gum tree died. Anyway, enough about the police. I don't think that's. Alright, so it's almost 8 o'clock. Trying to think what I can get for food that is like not is going to bode well with my stomach. The Thai place will be closed by the time I get there. Maybe I should just go to Publix and get some real food. I don't know. I will usually just soak seeds in water unless I think that there's actually fungus on them. Most of the time when I receive seed, like when I buy from like a collector, the actual person who collected the seed, it's usually cleaned. What I'll do is I'll soak it in water. If I see anything that would like lead me to believe that there's any kind of like growth on the plant, I'll add some hydrogen peroxide. I don't like to add it unless I have to, because hydrogen peroxide is somewhat of a drying agent. Like if you pour hydrogen peroxide in your skin and then let it sit there, you'll see like your skin will start to dry out. And I don't want to dry out the embryo, because that's like, that's obviously not going to be beneficial. Oh man, they messed up your order? Yeah, man, I don't blame you. I can imagine you're tired. I've had Wawa mess up my order too. I'm a big fan of red onions, and when they gave me no red onions in my salad, I was like, I like that bite. Sometimes they'll mess it up for the better, like they'll give you double the food you ordered, or double dressing, or double something, which I used to like as a kid, but now I'm like, it's a lot of cholesterol. I don't know if I want all that. Yeah, man, I don't blame you at all for. I have to go for that pollo. I mean, I had Cuban food yesterday for lunch. I really need to just go shopping and not go out to eat, but I actually enjoy talking with you guys. So I don't mind like going and getting food. Just know that like that's not normal for me to like eat out every single night. I don't. Okay, so let's get back to the palms. 60 seats of Parlor Palm. So, Margaret Q, or Chief, I should say, Parlor Palm is going to be, pretty sure the Parlor Palm is Chamaedorea safritzii. What I would do is, it doesn't require a lot of heat. I would just put them in any kind of soil you have, really, that drains. It can be a heavier soil because I don't mind that, and just If you don't have the room, you can put them in a baggie. They germinate pretty easily, but if they have any fruit on them, they won't germinate. They actually have to lose their fruit to germinate, and it's a growth inhibitor. I mean, I could choose to eat healthy stuff when I go out to eat. I try, and I don't go and get like McDonald's. At least I'm buying salads and Thai food, which is, I mean, it can be unhealthy, but I don't know. Yeah, we still participate in daylight savings. I mean, unless there's something I don't know about, but I change my clocks back and forward, twice a year. They go forward once a year and back once a year, so I'm not going fast enough here. Yeah, I know Arizona is sometimes in Pacific time, sometimes it's not. The Caribbean has some interesting time zones. There's like half hours. Like I know Newfoundland is an hour and a half ahead. There's Atlantic time zone, and there's Newfoundland time. The weirdest time zones can actually be found, well, in some places like China. China has one time zone, so if you live out in like Tibet, it's the same time there that it is in Shanghai, or Shanghai, I should say. So, I mean, you're talking like, 2,500 miles, and it's the same time. So, you got people that are, what's it called? Waking up at like 10 o'clock in the morning to the sun rising. I think that's what happens. Yeah, that sounds about right. $15 watching, man. That's good stuff. So they're dry. I get a 15-minute glass of water. Yeah, I would say, unless you think they're severely dehydrated, 24 hours is enough time for a palm seed. Unless you feel like they've been, they've had a rough go of it. One time I soaked carboxylon seed, which is much bigger. Obviously, it takes longer for water to penetrate. For 2 weeks because they were floating. They eventually all sunk, and I had like 80% germination. So if you get seeds that float, don't fret. Oftentimes they can be revived. I think if I didn't soak them for 2 weeks, though, they wouldn't have done nearly as well. It's been a warm few days. I mean, it's 8 o'clock. It's still 76 out here, so that's 25 Celsius. It's 24. Yeah. There is that driving on that in the panhandle when you hit that time zone. It's kind of weird. How long is average for Robusta germination? It's been a long time since I germinated Robusta, but I'd say I can't imagine it taking more than like 2 to 4 weeks. Which is pretty fast for a palm. Some of them can take a lot longer. I hope it's here, because I don't really want to take any plants in again. I don't have the room inside my house, and I don't want to risk I don't want to attract any rats from the field nearby to come to my garage, so I already lost 3/4 of my Copernicia Heckmanii crop thanks to them. 3 days at 100. Oh, hey David, how's it going? I'm driving from Venice to Cape Coral. David, I've seen your videos. Unless it's a different David, which I think it is, but I meant to come up for the winter the Christmas what's it called? Shindig in is this a Honda Ridgeline coming next to me? Is this a fellow Ridgeliner or is this a Honda Pilot? Oh, it's a pilot. Damn it. Anyway, I meant to come up there for the winter gathering. Why is this not? And I just slept too late. So it's about 3.5 hours from my house, and there was no place that like was nearby that wasn't in a Disney resort, like a Disney kind of like is the closest place to get a hotel really, unless I want to drive past it, which would be a 4-hour drive for me. Yeah, Phoenix germinates pretty fast too. I mean, I've seen palms germinate overnight. I mean, they may have been like ready to germinate, and I just kind of. This one's not going to drive fast. I guess I'll hit up Pollo. So Shiv, there's actually a lot of discussion about rare palm seeds, and I'm not going to, as someone who is trying to offer fresh seeds, you know, that ship fast and whatnot. Yeah, David has a YouTube channel as well, as that's what you're mentioning. And he does a lot of yeah. An old days in. I just found that, like, I guess maybe I looked too late for that, but meant to see. I mean, David and I have met, but it was been almost 12 years now, 11 and a half years. I feel bad. I really like everybody on the First Coast Palm Society is awesome. It's super nice. Yeah, Taco Bell. That's one thing my stomach is not ready for. So, like, back to rare palm seeds. I don't want to, as someone who's in the business, like, I don't want to take someone I would consider, like, you know, also, you know, he obviously has a ton more seed than I have available, but it really comes down to fresh seed, and, you know, I've experienced bad customer service, and I've experienced bad seed, and I'm not going to, you know, I've also experienced great seed. So I will also say that I had seed that was bad, and he did make it right. So, but I've just seen a lot of bad reviews lately. So I mean, I'm definitely not gonna defend him, but that's my personal experience. You know, I bought a lot of seed from him in the past. I don't really buy as much unless it's a certain seed that I think that I can't get myself. I've heard stories, you know, but I don't really. I wish he would get back to me more often. Yeah. What Simon said is pretty much true. I wouldn't buy something that isn't, say, new, because palm seed has a shelf if you at room temperature has a shelf life of like 1 to 2 months, maybe a little bit long. Like Serenoa, a lot of the palmetto, stuff like those things will last like up to 6 months or more, or a year. But if there's seed that's hey, everybody, welcome back. It just cut out. It said YouTube app that stopped responding. So sorry about that. I have it placed the wrong way. I wonder if I could just go to Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I'm back. Sorry, the other day when I killed it, I was getting like a lot of messages and phone calls from family, and I just, they were wondering, anyway, that's usually 99% of the time I'll come back, so. Yeah, I would say Washingtonian. I would agree with Simon. They do need good air movement. That's a good way. But I just not really. I'm not really sure why the owner of the thing about the owner of Rare Palm Seeds is that he's a member of the international. He's a director of the International Palm Society. He was once the vice president, and you would think you'd want to, show that your business practices are equal to your, what you do in the society. And someone complained. There was a palm forum on Facebook, and someone were complaining. I mean, there was literally like 25 complaints, like in one thread, and a response from an admin saying we're going to look into this, like as if like we're going to check with. It's like it's not really something for the Palm Society to get into. It's a business issue. It's not a society issue. So I'm not really sure why that was pertinent. And then when I challenged it 9 years ago, the administrators of the Palm Talk forum asked me that if things were made right, that I would take off the negative feedback. And I said, I mean, yeah, but why are you so concerned about him? Why is he being protected? And if anyone that knows Toby's listening to this, I wish that he would get back to me more often. He doesn't even get back to some of his biggest customers, and it's not my place to really say it publicly, but some people who I've spoken with, that I know get like really good, good seed often from him. They don't even get back to him, and like a lot of people who supply him the seed he doesn't get back to. I don't know why though. I wish Toby would just be open about it. I'm not mad at him or anything. I just wish that. Oh, hello, pretty girl. Where are you from? You come here often? Oh, no. Okay, you can understand. I mean, I can speak about my personal experience, but I don't want to speak about other people's experiences because they weren't mine, and I don't want it to become like quote hearsay, because I don't think that's fair. If he were like here in the forum, then he could respond about it. But I'm not going to tell you guys to go ahead and buy a ton of seed from him, and it's perfectly fine because I don't believe that to be true. So. Oh wow, that's cool. Yaras, even though they're not like known for like being one of the most royal of Copernicus, they're not that common. So, oh man, I guess I'm going to Pollo. Yeah, it really isn't hard to email there. I agree. A simple email of like, yes, at least we saw this, and I don't know who this pretty girl is. No, I'm joking. I know it's Ashley. That's her email. Shiv, I do post on Palm Talk sometimes. I post a lot in the for sale. Better be safe and banner. You never know. A lot of my threads are from like 7-8 years ago, and a lot of the stuff I would like to talk about, I guess, I mean, I think that sometimes the forum is a little bit too like old of a system to which to talk about it, and Facebook has become more the norm for a lot of International Palm Society. Although some things are better posted on Palm Talk. I'll post like old photos and stuff on Palm Talk, or just. Yeah, Zach, do a complete investigation, Yeah, post some photos. Oh, you mean for palms. I thought you were talking about Ashley. It looks busy here. I think this is all people from Outback that are parked here. Oh, man. I'm going to try and order something new from here. Value meal. That's a cheap ass value meal. $3.99. Let's see here. Oh yes, can I get a half a grilled chicken with black beans and white rice and boiled yuca, please? And that'll be it. Okay, yeah. You said go to the window, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Suspicious, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Can I get a couple of the garlic cilantro?
Yeah.
Sauce, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ashley and Emma are Ashley's mom, yeah. You never know. Another secret menu. Thank you very much. Like, I wish I could offer like 100 species of palm seeds at once. And it's probably possible to offer it fresh at some point, but I'm working on it. I'll tell you that. I've got seeds coming in. I got seeds coming from overseas. Cost a palm fiend 200 G's. Does anyone know what that lyric is from? Let's see who. I know Gus would. Gus would know, but see who anyone else would know. It's an older song. It's from the 90s. Miami palm? Do you mean Sable Miamiensis? Is that what you're talking about, or over your head? Yeah, it's an old rap song. Yeah, the cyber terrorists. I would love it if someone could just stop the phone calls I get from, oh, due to your car accident, your condition allows you to get a free medical brace. It's like, hey, listen, man, if I wanted a medical brace, I'd call you. I don't want, you know, and I definitely. Oh, is that what it means? So, Terrence, when it comes to Miamiensis, I collected seed in 2007 from a plant that was originally distributed by Fairchild, collected by Scott Zona, and I germinated them, and I grew up into 7 gallons, and I sold them around 2012 as like a rooted out 7. Some were planted out in some gardens and are now seeding. So the ones you see that are for sale now are usually from the plants that I sold. But oh yeah, I could just decorate my house with medical braces. I could probably get like away with getting in a handicap spot if I just wore a medical brace everywhere. But yeah, that's the problem. Is like, my number. Let's just say my number is 239989, and then like the last 4 digits will have like two of my actual 4 digits, and it'll, I'm like, I mean, I know that it's not going to be anyone I know. I get a guy from Naples calling me about selling him my house. I'm like, dude, I don't own a house. Like, he's like, well, does the person who owns your house want to sell it? I'm like, no, and I don't want them to sell it either. What is this here? What is going on? This guy's going too slow, so he comes into the fast lane. Jesus Christ. I don't mind trolling people who do that because I feel like, especially, I mean, the guy who wanted me to get him to sell the house I lived in was like very aggressive about it. And he wasn't like paying attention to the fact that I wanted to know what the purpose of the call was, and he was kind of like dodging it. So what is going on? And this is a 55-mile-an-hour zone. Yet no one seems to want to do 45. Hey man, you're on vacation. Go to sleep when you want to. Wake up when you want to. It's going to be nice weather probably the entire time you're here. Enjoy it while you can. Or, I mean, you get back. Hey, Chris. Guess what? I'm a few minutes away from home. Dude, I've looked the same way so many times after like a long, like 8-hour or longer drive. So, I mean, your body's like cramped up. You get to sleep in a car if you're switching drivers. It's no fun. Shit, that's a good question. You can get permission to pick seed. Usually they tell you not to. And, come on, man, I need to get that light. But, if you see seed that no one's like using, it's just laying on the ground, the guys are just gonna like throw it away. Pick it up. I mean, everybody does it. It's just like, it's like opening your neighbor's mail. You know you're going to open it. Or am I the only person that does that? I'm just kidding. I don't open my neighbor's mail. The FCC. Agent James Bivens. That's actually not a bad idea. Sometimes, like, I will get a call, and then, like, back to back, I'll get a second call. And usually that second call is actually a real person that like wants to know more about plants. And like, I'm like on edge. I'm like, sorry, man, I apologize. I got a robocaller and they usually understand. So that's why I don't like them, because they after like 30 of them, it's like you can only handle so much of I mean, I guess it would be harassment. Do 25 miles an hour. I don't know if I can pull off 25. I'm going under the speed limit right now, so I'm gonna drag it out a little bit. Oh, it's 78 degrees out. Damn. I don't think it's getting below 70 tonight. No, they're not. Most of the calls shift. There are Indian call centers. Usually, the Indian call centers are actually for people that you want to call for customer service. The call centers that they get are usually people in the U.S. trying to sell you something, or tell you that you're eligible for something, and you should get it, and they get money for, you know, which I think is wrong because, like, let's just say you have, like, let's say there's X, you know, let's just say, I mean, this is obviously not true. Let's say there's $1,000 allocated for a certain type of equipment, but they're trying to sell you on it. They're not trying to, like, you may not need it, but people will say, well, you know, I might as well take one, and that's all tax money that's just getting wasted. So I think everybody would agree with that. Yeah, exactly. I've tried calling them back too. I usually, unless I recognize a number or think it's like a, you know, have a reason to. If I believe it's a real number, I'll answer. But if I don't believe it is, then yeah. Burger Planet made you Alienware Ninja. That sounds like dangerous. I almost bought an Alienware computer, but I was like, I don't really want to spend $3,000 on a computer. Yeah, I'm sure that, you know, he's aware. Like, we're known for, like, people who stuff their face with fast food. And, you know, I know that when I call Comcast, I'm going to talk to someone from India. They're usually very pleasant. Some people just, some Americans just, you know, can't handle it, and they just, you know, they want to talk to someone in the U.S. when usually the person from India is more knowledgeable about the subject. But sometimes there's some local stuff that they need to know, like a power outage, or, you know, say the internet's out, and I call Comcast or Xfinity for. So I'm offended. I offended my fellow Americans. Maybe we can have fun. We're not even talking about palms. Maybe I'll start a radio show. I'm sure it would probably fail, but, you know, I can always try. Is it? Okay, good. I'm sorry that they usually don't mix up orders. I mean, sometimes they'll not put items in them if they're out of it, and they'll usually tell you, but if you're not around, they won't tell you. But yeah, I mean, I used to eat Wawa in college when there were Wawas near me, like in the Northeast, and then I didn't try it again until they came down to Florida. And like I was staying in my RV, and my sister and she had someone renting a room from her, and her boyfriend were all eating Wawa subs. I'm like, man, why are you eating gas station food? I'm like, I don't know if that stuff's like really that good. I mean, I liked it in college. Then I went and I got a club sandwich, and I was like, oh my god, now I'm gonna be like giving Wawa all my money. Yeah, you know, one thing I'm sure you guys would be okay with this is, like, if I'm going somewhere and there's like a palm person, say like a nurseryman, that, you know, we could do like an interview with two people, then, you know, anyone's welcome to come and do a duo, or, you know, do a trio or a quartet, or, you know, we could break out the mandolin and the banjo. I mean, we could just start doing the whole bluegrass thing. Play some, you know, I can break out the banjo. I can't promise you I can play it, but I'll find a banjo. Shiv, actually, it's not bad. It's the only downside is it is high in salt, but the quality is probably equal to your average deli or average, you know, sandwich shop. I wouldn't like live off of it, but it's not like buying. Like I'd say it's better than microwaving food that you buy at the grocery store. I don't know if I would equate myself. I can't. I couldn't make. What's this car in the middle of this field doing here? All right, so I'm back at Cape now. What was I gonna say? I don't know if I consider myself to be you know I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it politically charged one because it would be. I don't want to divide. I like to keep it up. Palm. I might do something where it'd be more like a logical thing. So, oh yeah, I've seen Deliverance. That's why I mentioned the banjos. Yeah, we could do. We could do some palm. I want to call it Palm Talk, but Palm Talk is already kind of a name. Yeah, the moon is. Last night I was looking outside like my sister's front door, and I'm like, is there a fire going on? But it just the moon was shining on so much that the light was just reflecting everywhere. So, but yeah, guys, sorry to have to cut this off, but I do have hot food, and all my stuff is in the back of the. I got to unload a bunch of stuff here. I got my drone in the and stuff but yeah, Dylan's welcome to come down here and see what's going on, and I'm gonna maybe try and help him get a couple plants. I know some nurseries that are open late night, so you don't have to come in the middle of the day. I like I have this. Well, anyways, I'll talk to you about it, but I'll message you. So yeah, I enjoyed the vlog. I mean, hope you guys had fun. I just got to go in and settle myself in here. So I'm a little travel weary myself. Cool. Yeah, thanks, David. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully I'll see you in the near future. And Dylan, it was nice meeting you, and Zach and Terrence, Chris, Shiv, Simon, the one guy. If you want to give out your name ever, that's fine too. And Bobby, if he's still around. Have a good night, and I'll try to upload that vlog tonight. So yeah, Chris, I'll see you guys later. No, you don't, Zach. I'm pretty sure they're dioecious. I'm pretty girl, whoever that is. Just kidding. All right, guys. See